how it will ultimately perform once constructed with Autodesk Insight. With the click of a button, you have access to trusted industry-leading.
Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for joining our free online lesson. Okay, for today's free online lesson, we are going to talk about one interesting topic regarding Plant 3D, which is we want to generate pipe ISO. So from our 3D modeling pipe, we want to generate isometric drawings. Okay, so I would like to thanks for those that joined from our Zoom live. So Mr. Abdul Halim, Mr. Zaifur Rizal, Mr. Zam Azizul, and Inani Yusra. So in these topics, our main objective is to understand first how the 3D model can be converted into the 2D isometric drawing. Right, so before I start, let me introduce myself. My name is Shafiq Farhan as a product manager, design and manufacturing, which is focused on product design, including this Plant 3D, okay, from AutoCAD system Senen Berhad. Okay, so in this video also will be live on our YouTube. In case you are missed to view this video, okay, don't forget to watch on our YouTube channel. Okay, so let's jump to the first objective before we creating the isometric drawing. So every 3D piping, we need to specify the line number tag. So in order to make it the production ISO, okay, we need to create the line number tag. If not, you only able to do quick ISO. Later, I will show the difference. So the second things that we need to know is ISO's tab, which is when you install your Plant 3D, you will see this thing. So you will see this ISO tab. So the first panel will be ISO creation, which is you are able to create a quick ISO, production ISO, and also PCF to ISO. Okay, and then the second panel, you will see ISO annotation, reference, okay, ISO message, floor symbols, flow arrow, insulation, and they will have start and break point. Okay, and then the last one, you will also see the PCF export. So in case you don't know how to do the setting, you also need to do some setting using project setup in Plant 3D. Okay, to change the symbols or to change the limits, the dimension that you want to show or not, everything will be in the isometric DWG setting in the project setup. So let's jump straight away to our software. So as you can see in my screen, right? So this will be my Plant 3D software. Then I already opened one of the models here. Okay, in this model, basically I want to focus on one thing, which is this 3D model. From this piping, I want to generate the isometric drawing. Okay, they will have two options to create isometric from the 3D modeling. But before we go in that, so let me demonstrate on what are items that will be not appear in the isometric. So in case I want to create a piping with a 8 mm size nominal diameter, sorry, at 80 mm, so just something like this. So in this case, I want to insert some flanges, so just need to click and insert it. So if you see this kind of error, so then your isometric drawing will be split into two pages. Okay, like it or not, it will directly split into two pages. Okay, so for example, so let's make it done. So and then I just try to connect between these two items, done. So as you can see here, there will be a drop, the water drop symbols here. So in case your PC are not turned on, you can go to Home tab, Visibility panel. This will be the area that you can toggle the marker for disconnect area. So when I click deactivate the button, you will see, you cannot see the symbols anymore. So in this case, since I already know that these piping are connected, okay, so when you choose everything and then suddenly you want to go to the quick ISO, So in this area, I just directly jump to create first to see the result. So since this one is disconnected area, you will see that this drawing will split into a few different drawing. So this one will become 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let the software process the drawing. So once it's done, later you can see that they will have a pop-up at the bottom right. Okay, you need to click on that kind of symbols. Okay, so that will be the idea on how to create the isometric in general. So wait, okay, give me a second. Right, so isometric creation complete. All isometric created successfully. So when I click here, it already split into 3 different drawings. So drawing 1 will be at the right side. Drawing 2, only the flanges. Drawing 3 will be on the left side. So anytime that have disconnected, it will split into a different drawing. So that will be the first tips. So when I click here, this will be the first drawing, or this will be the flanges one. Okay, for the drawing 1. Okay, the flanges one. When I go back to this ISO, go to the drawing 2. Okay, this will be the one of the side of piping, and then another side. So to make it you understand more details on how to solve this kind of issue, so I believe that I have posted one video on our YouTube channel regarding this problem. Okay, so the main reason here why, because of these flanges are not supported to this pipe size. Okay, and then what I should do, I should remove and then use a proper pipe, that proper flanges that supported. Okay, for example, this one, and then I click, and that connected between these two. So in this case, it will become only one drawing. So that one need to be clear first. So let's jump to the 3D modeling. So in this case, if I already create one of the parts, so the most easiest way to generate the isometric using quick ISO, you can do the selection. Okay, for example, I want to connect between, so let me rotate a bit. Okay, from these flanges to these flanges. Okay, these flanges to directly to this valve. Okay, so what is the easiest way? I just need to click 1, click 2, and then just need to right click, use add to selection, connected path between selected parts. So it will directly select everything in here. So just to be aware, for this case, right, in case you have a flanges, make sure if you want to make sure that this gasket also included, then you need to select manually. But in case your flanges are inside the part, it already selected. Okay, since just now we only select the flanges to this valve, means that the flanges have the gasket in here. So if I want to show in the isometric, I need to select this one. Okay, in this case, if I want to specify the line number, the easiest method, just go to the properties. Okay, look for here, hold on. Okay, so this will be the line number type that we can specify it. So in this case, I want to make it a new line number. So just scroll until you will see this new. Okay, before you specify the new line number. Right, so this line number, I want to make it 30015. Okay, and then hit assign. So the difference between quick ISO and production ISO, which is if I create this line number, I can use production ISO. So let's go both of them. Okay, for this case, I already do the selection and then use quick ISO. Okay, to make sure that your drawing can be fit into one pages, so what you can do, you can click on this advanced. Okay, so they will have one button here. You can just drag until become more. Okay, so this one you can either choose less or more for the level of congestion to split ISO. Okay, this one. So once you already select, you can click OK. Okay, and then you can also choose, for example, I just choose final A2 before click the create button. So let the software generate for us the result. Okay, and then the second one, when I try to do the next production ISO, okay, which is the second method of generating ISO. So I can click this production ISO. So then you can just directly select the line number instead of you need to click one by one in the 3D models. Okay, so normally we will use this kind of method. Okay, so let's check. Okay, this one already done. Okay, already become in one drawing. It's good. Okay, and this will be the result. Okay, so for the production ISO, right, when you zoom in, you will see that this drawing number will become user-defined line. Okay, user-defined line for this drawing number. Okay, this issue will be normal for the quick isometric drawing. To solve this kind of issue, what we can do, we need to use production ISO. So I just need to click on this production ISO, choose what the line number that I created just now, which is 30015. Okay, just repeat the same process, click advance, drag to more, and then hit OK, create. So we will try to differentiate between using quick ISO and production ISO. That will be the first things. Okay, so whenever that you're done with quick ISO or production ISO, it will directly save to your folder, to your project folder. Okay, in this case, you can go to, for example, this will be my project folder. Okay, and then I can go to here, isometric folder, check 2 or final A2, since just now we are choosing final A2. So this will be the production ISO that just now we are generated, and then quick ISO. So when you click on this quick ISO, you will see that this will be the line, the drawing that generated. Okay, and then I can go to here again and then choose production ISO, look for the drawing file. So look like this one have 30015 already done. So let's click and open the drawing. Okay, so let's see the difference. Okay, the only difference will be the line number and the file name. Okay, while for the quick ISO, this will become a user-defined line. In case you try to connect between two different line number, okay, then you can use quick isometric, quick ISO, and then later you need to rename the file name and also this drawing number. So how to rename? Just double click. So since this one only using the attribute title block, then you can just directly rename 30015 and then hit apply. Okay, and then can close. Okay, so this file also need to be renamed on the Windows. Okay, hopefully that you understand between quick ISO and production ISO. So for these two, the different only you need to have the line number. Right, so let's jump to the project setup for isometric drawing. Okay, for the project setup, right? So if you want to access the project setup, the first step will be just click here, right click. You will see at the last one, project setup. Okay, in this project setup dialog box, so they will have a few options that we're able to choose. The first one is a general setting, PNID, plant, and ISO and ortho. So since these topics are related to isometrics, let's jump to this isometric one. So symbols and reference, this will be the symbols if we are creating something. So this will be the message if we are trying to set up any reference. Okay, so building, grid line, steel beam, steel column, it will marking the column ID, pipeline, wall, and miscellaneous. Okay, for the ISO style setup, most importantly, you need to make sure that you are editing the right setting that you want. For example, in this case, I want to edit this final A2 because normally I will use final A2. Then I just need to setting here. The file name format only for production ISO. In case you try to use quick ISO, since quick ISO cannot generate the file name, then this one is not relevant to the quick ISO. Okay, so in case I want to make it the file name a bit different, then I can just directly change here. So we can click add to add more information. Okay, so for example, the line number already here. Then in case I want to insert more, then I can just directly insert nominal diameter. So nominal diameter, line number, dash numbering. Okay, so number ABC or 1, 2, 3. Okay, the third button here, this also you need to make sure that you are on the right format, the right setting that you want. Okay, in this case, if you don't want to change every time creating the isometric, right? So you can just go to here and then save here, more, apply. So later when you go to advanced setting, it will be in here by default. Okay, and also if every time that you create isometric, you want to generate the boom or the well, you can directly click here for boom, click here for well in what format, Excel, text, or CSV. So some cases you want to have the welding and then you want to generate into the machine, so you can use this CSV file. Okay, for the theme is more to the setup for your isometric. So default piping, if I don't want to have any dimension or annotation, I just can untick for default piping. So this will be the example for piping. For the branch piping, also we can specify here. In case we have OLED, any OLED, then we can just directly specify here. So the most important tab here is annotation and dimension. So this will be two important ones. Okay, let's go to annotation first. So the annotation, so I noticed that some company, they not use NSEW, EL plus, EL minus. So they will use up, down. Okay, so you can just directly change here. Okay, so tips for this coordination label. If you want to make sure that the position in the right way, so as you can see in this end, right, after and they will put space. Okay, in case I want to change into up, make sure I also need to put space. Okay, this one is down, for example, space. RIGHT, space. And then this one, LEFT, FT, space. So don't forget to put the space. If not, that your text and your numbering, okay, the value of the coordinate will be mixed together. Okay, if you want to make a bit spacing, just need to insert the space. Okay, so in here they will have a lot more setting that you need to go through one by one. So if you can go to this connection also, they will have ISO open, and so this one is not important. So let's go to here, dimension. Dimension is the most important one. Okay, so in this area, right, if you want to do the gasket dimensioning, or you don't want to do the gasket dimension, so you can tick here. Do not dimension gasket. So if I want to make it dimension gasket, then this will be dimensioned separately in the isometric. Or if I want to include in the component, in the valve or in the flanges, so I just can go here, include in gasket. Okay, so show gasket indicator mean you want to show the symbols for the gasket. Okay, so all these things you can just tick and untick. So this will be the default theme. Okay, so you can also tick and untick. So you can already see the view in here. If you are using 2021 and below, you cannot see this kind of setup. Okay, so make sure that you use the latest version for Plant 3D. Since Plant 3D, nothing to be worried about the version because you are also working with AutoCAD base. So you can just upgrade into the latest version. Okay, end-to-end overall also will be the most important area. So for example, in here, if I have one item, for example, this reducer. So this reducer, in case I want to have the dimension, I can just directly set up here. Okay. Off. If I have some more item, okay, we can just directly click and insert here, both ends. Okay, just make sure that you understand first these things, and then you can test by creating the by generating the isometric. Okay, so the string will be the area that every single item here. So this one is one and only for reducer. So for example, I want to test, since I already do some setting on this annotation, right? Okay, in this annotation tab, which is up, down, left, right. So when I click apply and then I can hit OK. So hit OK. So let's do some testing here. So after I done setting everything, so in case I want to generate again the isometric, so I can click on this production ISO. So look again for this same setting. Let's go to this advanced. So by default, it already go to the more. Instead of every time you need to click more and drag, so you just can go to this project setup, change the setting. Okay, so this will be the setup, the second setup here. Okay, so since I already done the annotation for the coordinate, okay, change the annotation for the coordinate. So let's see what will be the result. Okay, so this will be the result that using the normal one, which is ENEL. ENEL. Okay, so what happened if I already change to up, down, or something? Okay, so in your result later, you will see the same item here, but in a different wording. Okay, just click. Okay, and then just go to here, right up EL. So everything can be done in project setup. Okay, let's go to one of the good topics for isometric, which is this ISO annotation. So for this ISO annotation, right, so they will have a few things that we can set up. Okay, the first one, which is the reference. So since when we have a 3D model for piping, some area that we need to split into a different, some big project, we need to split into a different area. Okay, so every area, they will have a reference that need to measure from. Okay, for example, for this sample, for these flanges, so these flanges, I want to make sure that it will be measured from a specific item. Okay, in this case, I want to measure from this beam. Okay, this steel. So what can I do? I can just directly click on this reference dimension, specify here. Okay, specify here. And then where is the dimension that I want to insert? For example, this endpoint. So if you are working with the the shaded visual style, So some cases you cannot see the symbol for your reference dimension. So if you change to 2D wireframe, okay, you will see that this will be the symbols for the marking. Okay, this will be the symbols, which is these flanges will be calculated from this view, okay, from this point. Okay, the second one, if I want to do some tagging or some message for this piping, so I can click on this ISO message. Sorry, go back to the reference dimension. So if just now I choose the column. So what if I choose a random object? Okay, a random object. It will appear something like this to specify what the things that I try to choose. Okay, so just now I choose direct column, it will directly choose the still column. Okay, for the reference dimension. Right, so for the ISO message, when I click on this ISO message, I can choose the shape first. In case I want to use this box and then just directly insert whatever information that I want to insert. This dimension is for installation. Okay, and then I can click draw, OK, and specify here. Okay, so this will be the things that no need. So what will be the result after I already set up these two? Okay, basically you also can do some setup of this flow arrow. So we can just directly reverse arrow. So this will be the arrow that will be appear in the isometric. So let's go directly to my production ISO. Okay, again, we just repeat the process to generate it. Click create, and then you will see the result will be changed a little bit compared to this one and another one. Okay, over here you cannot see anything, right? So you only can see this one, a straight line. Okay, which is you don't have any datum to measure. Okay, for the updated one, since I already do some setup, the flow, the message, and also the reference dimension, it will appear in my isometric drawings later. So done, click generate. So I believe that the text is too long. That's why they split into two drawings. Yeah. Okay. So over here, this will be the point that mentioned. This will be the flow. Okay. So this will be the point that this dimension is for installation. Just now I typed this wording. Okay. It appear in my isometric. Okay. And it also will be have the dimension here. Okay. In case you have some area that you want to specify, right? Okay, and then another one which is, I think for the second one, -1, -2. Yeah, only this one. Maybe I just misclick the point for the flanges. Okay, so that will be the result after you do the annotation for isometric. Okay, so hopefully that you learn a lot in these topics. So we did publish more video from our YouTube. Okay, don't forget to go to our website, okay, acadsystems.com. Okay, if you want to view more on the Plant 3D video, just go to here, scroll to AutoCAD System website. So at this footer, you can click on these symbols, which is the YouTube symbol. It will bring to our YouTube channel. So in our YouTube channel, you can just directly look for Plant 3D video. So right now is 2 video. This one is a live in our YouTube. We also will publish and we also will be upload this video to our Facebook. Okay, don't forget to subscribe our YouTube. Okay, click on this subscribe button and then make sure you click on this bell. Okay, later you will get notification when we do any live. Okay, and also if you want to join more on our topics, free on our lesson topics, okay, don't forget to click and register on our website. Okay, so that will be my presentation for my free online lesson for today. Thank you everyone, Mr. Abdul Halim, Inani, Muhammad Hairi, and also Mr. Zaiful Rizal, okay, from our Zoom live. Okay, hopefully that you can learn more here. Okay, you already get more information. So if you have any question, don't forget to chat on our button, look for my name. So click live chat and then try type hi Shafiq. Okay, and then you just try to insert your information and then try to insert all question that you want to ask to me. Okay, so that will be my presentation. Thank you everyone. Okay, see you in the next free online lessons. And yeah, goodbye.